1. Keep me on 26, Sarah.
Welcome to another episode of Police Beat, the show that takes you inside the Gainesville Police Department. I'm Officer Ben Tobias, the spokesman for GPD, and I will be your host for today's show. Joining me as co-host is one of GPD shift commanders, Lieutenant Sharna Sen.
Thanks, Ben. We appreciate you all spending some time with us to learn more about the Gainesville Police Department. On this episode, you'll see how our motorcycle officers train and experience a reenactment of a very tense situation as described by one of our officers. But first, you get to see how a group of young folks recently graduated from the GPD Junior Police Academy.
The Gainesville Police Department is always looking for new ways to engage the community. This summer saw another first, a Junior Police Academy. GPD School Resource Officer Charlene Collins saw a way to accomplish two things: giving our youth something to do over the summer and helping folks learn more about the department. Officers and staff from all areas of GPD volunteered to teach different topics during the week-long academy. Let's take a closer look at how things went.
Are you motivated?
Yes, sir!
Are you dedicated?
Yes, sir!
Motivation check.
Hoorah!
Dedication check.
Hoorah!
I'm Officer Charlene Collins with the Gainesville Police Department. I work as a school resource officer. The Junior Police Academy is a week-long summer camp that we designed for middle school students, either entering into middle school or preparing to leave middle school, 6th to 8th grade. Students who are interested in learning more about law enforcement, about their local police agency. It's a week-long camp where they are able to hear from our specialty units and see various specialty demonstrations, as well as get involved in interactive activities and skills that they're going to learn. Some of them are interested in becoming police explorers, so this gives them a little inside look into what they may see as they become an explorer as they reach the high school age. We actually had the idea for the camp a couple years ago, and we've been working on it, preparing and planning, and we're actually able to implement our first class this year. So we don't want them to feel like they're in school, but we do want to get them the information and the education. So they actually have a cadet handbook that has the curriculum for the academy. So each day they had their classroom instruction where they learn things about the history of policing, arrest, search and seizure, legal, forensics, traffic control.
So we want to make sure that you guys educate your families on how to be safe all the time.
All types of course curriculum that we might see in the actual police academy, where our actual police academy cadets go through. They got a little taste of that. It's a fun camp. We wanted to be fun for them. We didn't want them to feel like they were in school, but we want to make sure that they're getting the information that we are presenting to them, and they did. And we also incorporated interactive things such as building searches and mock crime scenes, where they actually had to go out and collect evidence and process a crime scene and try to figure out who committed the crime. So we wanted to make it fun for them. They got to do a taser demonstration, simulator demonstration. Our forensics crime unit taught them how to lift prints. So we wanted to make it fun, but we also wanted to be educational as well.
Speed up there, speed up there. You good to go, good job. Go, got your partner, good job. I'm Officer Doug Williams. I'm a police officer at the Gainesville Police Department. I'm helping out the Junior Police Academy this week. I'm teaching the kids about physical fitness. So we have them doing PT. Today we're going to be ready to have them run an obstacle course and do a little upper body training. Group number 1, start here. Group number 2, we have a playground behind the facility here, as you can see. And we're going to use it today to actually have the kids go through it and use it as a makeshift obstacle course to use the different muscles in their bodies to maneuver through the different obstacles. Whee! There we go, for the wall. Today's society, we find that most kids are staying inside, using the electronics and not getting outside playing a lot. We have to do a lot of coordination drills where you have to think and you have to actually think to get through some of these obstacles. So actually getting outside and doing different things with their body and using their mind that way and putting it all together is a great benefit for these young people. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Both feet in, both feet out. Both feet in, both feet out. There you go. Good job, good job. Hit it. We want to explore the importance of physical fitness, how it makes them not only physically fit, but also mentally sharp, emotionally sharp. We wanted to make sure that they get in the habit of working out. I explained to them the importance of working out every day, even if it's before school, doing some jumping jacks, push-ups, and just generally staying healthy and staying fit, and how it'll help them out throughout their life and throughout their career, be it in the police department or any other career that they might choose. I'm proud of the work y'all did today. Y'all have about 3 minutes to get inside, get more water, change up, whatever you have to do, and get ready for the next class. All right? All right, good job. High five.
Today we had our second junior recruit class come through the academy. At our graduation ceremony, we wanted to recognize our students for their completion of the academy, and they committed their time. They came every day, 8 to 5, and we wanted to present them with a certificate of completion for accomplishing that goal. We also wanted to have the opportunity for their parents to come out and see what they did, and we also presented all of them with a certificate of completion today. We are going to plan on doing this every summer. We're going to try to do 2 camps a summer. So if anyone's interested in finding out more about the Junior Police Academy, they can contact me, Officer Collins. I can be reached by email or by calling the department, and they'll put you in touch. I'm very proud of our class. We had a really good group of kids. Everybody worked together. Everybody was best friends by the end of the week. We got to know a lot about each other. And I hope to see them out there in the streets, and they'll recognize me and they'll be able to come up and say, "Hey, Officer Collins, I remember you from the Junior Police Academy."
We had nothing but positive feedback from the students and parents, so you can expect to see the Junior Police Academy back next year. After a short break, we talked to Officer Jeff Bailey and hear him recount a very tense situation he experienced. Police Beat will be right back.
You don't think it's gonna happen.
I was just thinking like, wow, I could have been killed.
If I can help it, you're not gonna like die when I'm driving.
So, you went out with a friend last night. Did you have fun? Do you remember? Did you have 1 drink too many? Or maybe 2? Do you know? Did you think you were cool? Do you remember what happened? Who brought you home? What's being posted online today? Binge drinking. You're smarter than that. This message is brought to you by HIT and its sponsors.
Air 1, keep me on 26 Terrace.
We hear folks say the word routine all too often when speaking about police work. Routine traffic stop, routine patrol, routine call. As officers, we too can get caught thinking that our jobs are routine, but they are anything but routine. Officer Jeff Bailey has seen a lot in his life. Prior to becoming a GPD officer, he served in the U.S. Army for 24 years, many of those with Special Forces. But one night, he worked an incident that stays with him even today. And it should be a good example to the public that no incident is routine. It may also explain why our officers stay alert every second of the day. This incident should also be a reminder to all police officers, never get complacent on the job. Let's hear Officer Bailey tell the story.
You are different things to different people out there as a police officer. They look at you differently. To one person, you're this nice man who helps them in a traffic accident. To another person who might be a criminal, who might have committed crimes and spent time in prison, they may hate you. I mean literally hate you. To another criminal who's in the process of committing a crime or possibly has a warrant, you're a threat to them, because if you stop them and you investigate, you may take their freedom away because they may end up going to jail because of a crime they've committed. So you're a threat to them in that sense. And then to someone else, you're someone who wrote them a ticket the other day. So I think everyone sort of sees police officers a little differently. As police officers, we don't know what people are thinking about us. You know, we can only go by what's in front of us and what we see, and so we always have to be on edge. We always have to be aware. You know, we always have to assume that, you know, that the people that we're coming into contact with are friendly, and we have to build rapport and maintain a good relationship with them and all, and try to, again, build, you know, their confidence in the police force, because we really are out there trying to protect them. Thought the night was over with, because I had a number of calls to go to. I was a little behind on paperwork, so I was trying to get my paperwork done. I sent in a report, and you know, we try to get that wrapped up by the end of the day. And our supervisors, they have to approve all of our reports. It's probably 10 minutes before time to get off for the night. And my supervisor sent it back and said, hey, you need to change one thing here. You know, you need to make one correction, which is kind of typical. So I pulled in quickly into a parking lot, buried my head in the computer, made that correction. I looked up, and there was a girl coming across the parking lot. Now this is in the Northwest. This is off of 13th Street in the Northwest, and I saw her coming across the parking lot, and I thought it was kind of strange. It's not completely unusual for us to see a college-age girl walking that time of night. This was a Saturday night, so it wasn't completely unusual. And but it was getting a little bit late, and the parking lot was kind of dark. And so I started looking around and to see if there's anyone else out in the parking lot, and there was nobody else in the parking lot. And so then when I looked back at her, I realized she was coming straight at me now.
Hey, miss, stay there. I'll get out and talk to you. Miss, stay there.
And then I realized she had her hand behind her back, way up in the small of her back. And of course, we like seeing hands. As police officers, you know, we want to see what people are coming up to see what they're holding. And she didn't listen to me. She just kept walking. I yelled again. I was like, miss, stay there. And my window was down, so she could hear all this. And she just continued to walk, didn't say a word. So I started to spin out to get out of the car. And then I realized she's closing the gap. She's not listening to my commands. I don't know what's behind her back.
Miss, stay right there.
Not answering me. So I have no idea what her intentions are, but she's walking straight towards me. And all this is happening very fast. You know, she's continually walking towards me. So it's probably all happened in 6, 7 seconds, maybe 10. And so at that point, I made the decision that I needed to put my firearm on her.
Your back. Take your hand up on your back. Miss, stop! Stop! Stop right there!
And she has this long dagger, short sword of a knife in her hand, and just continues to walk towards me. And then I thought, that's a really big knife, you know, for a young woman to have out in the middle of the night. Continued to yell at her. She took about 2 more steps after she pulled the knife out from behind her back, and then just stopped. You know, just a split second. If she had taken another step or 2, I might have had to fire. I would have fired. I was already squeezing on the trigger.
Get down on the ground! Get all the way down! All the way!
She stopped. Thank goodness I didn't shoot. But if she had taken another step or 2, if she had screamed, or if she had done anything to make me think she was attacking me with that knife more than what she was doing at that point, I would have shot her, I'm sure. There's a reason for that. You know, if someone has a knife and they're coming at you, you only have so much time to react. And if they're not listening to your commands, and you know, you have to defend yourself. Once she stopped, I had her get down on the ground and handcuffed her and all. But that's just a great example of, here this whole night went completely uneventful, and the next thing you know, I'm in a situation where it was almost a shooting, you know, and that's kind of what this job is like. You never know.
Officer Bailey's experience could have changed course in less than a second and could have ended much differently. Thankfully, no one was injured during the incident, and it can now be used as a teaching tool. It also shows how professional our officers are and how we are able to make proper decisions under extreme stress. We hope that Officer Bailey's story gives you a glimpse into what our officers face as we serve and protect the public. Our final segment is a response to an email suggestion from a viewer. Brian wanted to learn more about GPD's motorcycle patrol and see some of the training that these talented riders go through. We will show you exactly how they do it right after the break.
Burglaries and robberies have become serious concerns in our city. This crime is referred to as a crime of opportunity because most criminals look for the path of least resistance. Protect yourself, don't become a target, lock your doors, and keep expensive items out of plain view.
For crime prevention information, go to GainesvillePD.org or call the Gainesville Police Department's Crime Prevention Office at 334-2479. Protect yourself, don't become a target.
The dumping of unwanted pesticides, paint products, or motor oil is not only irresponsible, it's very harmful to the environment. Alachua County residents can drop off these materials free of charge at the Household Hazardous Waste Collection Center. Hazardous liquids, poisons, and other harmful agents are treated with care by a trained staff that will unload your vehicle for you. The center also offers free of charge unwanted materials for use in your home. Take care of Alachua County's land and water supply by disposing of hazards properly. Call 334-0440.
Kilo 7 Sierra 1, keep me on 26 Terrace.
The Gainesville Police Department motorcycle officers are some of the most visible members of the department. You see them daily as they enforce the traffic laws on Gainesville's roadways. The motorcycle officers are able to move through traffic much more quickly than someone in a car. They are also a vital part of any police escorts, most recognizably on Gator game days. Our motor officers are extremely talented riders that can effortlessly maneuver a 1,000-pound motorcycle. We sent the police beat crew out to see a day of motorcycle training and show you how they hone their skills.
Hi, I'm Officer Zakowski with the Gainesville Police Department. I've been assigned to the traffic unit on motorcycles. I've been here approximately 6.5, almost 7 years now. I am the motor instructor for the agency. By motor instructor, I'm responsible for conducting training and requalifications and teaching motor schools to folks that are new on the motorcycle, as well as conducting training sessions for those who have been on the bikes for a while. We do monthly training to keep our skills sharp on the motorcycles. We ride Harley-Davidson Road King bikes. Road King has a windshield on it. It's a V-twin motor. It's an American motorcycle. We use these bikes in patrol. We use them to enforce traffic. We use the motorcycles also to conduct escorts for sports events, as well as escorting dignitaries. The motorcycle just has more maneuverability. But the downside to maneuverability is vulnerability. And by that I mean the motorcycle doesn't have anything wrapped around you. So yes, it can move into tight spaces or out of confined areas or within confined areas very quickly and accurately. But the problem is because it's not a car, there's not a lot of protection for us as riders. Now, training is very important to us, as that allows us to go home safely when we train, and we keep that fresh in our minds. The reason we're out here today, this is one of our monthly training days. We're out at the IPS, the Santa Fe Police Academy. We set up a variety of different cone courses. There's probably 30 or 40 different courses that we have spray painted actually on this driving pad out here. This is called the intersection. It's one of the most basic courses that we do, and a lot of the skills that are used in this course are used in conjunction with some other skills to ride some of the other cone courses. So basically this course is set up to where a motorcycle would enter it right here, and travel along this path of travel right here. This is a 24-foot distance right here, okay? From this leg of the intersection in, motorcycle is going to turn right. It's going to travel 24 feet down this leg of the intersection, do a 180-degree turn right here, basically a U-turn. It's going to travel back to the center of the intersection. At this point, motorcycle is going to make a right-hand turn, 90 degrees, travel down that leg of the intersection another 24 feet, do a 180-degree turn, come back up 24 feet, make another right-hand turn, 90 degrees, travel 24 feet, come back after a U-turn, turn 90 degrees and then exit the exercise. And this exercise helps a lot. This is a skill builder for a lot of the other exercises that we do. This skill builds you to other levels of the cone courses and stuff like that. And it also helps in bike function, bike control. But here comes Corporal West. He's been on the traffic unit a number of years. Corporal West just completed a 180-degree turn. The width between these cones is 18 feet. He's doing it in about 16 feet right here. If you're a beginning rider on the police motorcycle, this is the first course you are expected to do and complete. This is a very small course called the Charleston. It's a real small confined cone course, and it's designed for rodeo skills testing. It only takes maybe 10-15 seconds at the very most to get through this course. Come in, take a left, make a right, go up on top of this, come back, make a left transition, we're out. It's very fast, it's very fluid. You really need to have a lot of skill to ride this. When we get invited to rodeos, we tend to attend those events. We'll actually place in a couple different categories with our motorcycles there. We compete against other agencies that have police motorcycles. We also, including the cone courses, what we do are some evasive maneuvers, some brake and escape, some street sense, safety skills like that. We do a lot of braking exercises. We do something called brake and escape. In the instance we need to stop really fast, we get to practice a lot of that out here without a true hazard. Once you're riding for a certain amount of time, you get used to the weight of the bike, the size of the bike, and how it responds to your input through these different courses. If you don't use those skills every month, you're not going to function at a really high level of what we need for you to be out on the street with.
With UF football only a few weeks away, you'll soon get to see these talented officers display their precision riding skills for escorts and parades. We take pride that there are some of the most precise and professional riders around.
Well, that wraps up this episode. There are a few events happening this month that we want to remind you of. On Saturday, August 15th, there will be a back-to-school bash at Gardenia Gardens Apartments that starts at 10 a.m. There will also be a GPD Awards ceremony held on a Wednesday, August 19th, and that will begin at 6 p.m.
You can check out our website, Facebook, or Twitter to find more information on these upcoming events or to make suggestions on what you'd like to see featured on a future episode. As you saw with our final segment today, we love hearing your suggestions and showcasing your ideas.
We hope you enjoyed your time with us today, and we'll see you again next month for another episode of Police Beat.
Officers displaying their Holy cow, you better go with it hook, line, and sinker because that was fantastic.
That was fantastic.
Burglaries and robberies have become serious concerns in our city. This crime is referred to as a crime of opportunity because most criminals look for the path of least resistance. Protect yourself. Don't become a target. Lock your doors and keep expensive items out of plain view.
For crime prevention information, go to GainesvillePD.org or call the Gainesville Police Department's Crime Prevention Office at 334-2479. Protect yourself. Don't become a target.
It's not easy being a tree. There's the constant hugging, and there are other nuisances.
No, doggy, no! But the best part about being a tree is helping people recycle at work. And it's not just paper, it's cardboard too.
Hey, now that's thinking outside of the box. Thank you, I'll be here all week.
Last year, Gainesville businesses recycled approximately 5,000 tons of cardboard, but we can do more.
Recycle at work and make a tree happy. Call the City of Gainesville Office of Recycling.